Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. When the Ooni of Ife called on the Alaafin of Oyo, he said, we are one and together we are stronger. The hall erupted in warm applause. People stood up spontaneously, some clapping with tears in their eyes for many elders in attendance. It was a rare sight that healed old wounds and strengthened hope. When the Alaafin stood up, his voice raged through the gathering with that ancient authority only a seasoned king carries. He played, fervently for unity, progress, and protection from evil forces, and for the Yoruba sons and daughters scattered all across the world. He prayed that Yoruba land could continue to flourish and be a beacon for others. Throughout the days of the event, the Ooni's human side was also on, full display. He was seen mingling with younger Obas, even playfully adjusting the cap of a very young monarch who seemed a bit overwhelmed by the occasion. He also shared private moments with some of the elderly kings, showing deep respect, slightly when greeting them despite his own towering position. That humility touched so many people, and maybe you have come across a post or blogs where they kept saying the Ooni of Ife is such a humble king. And really, the Ooni of Ife is such an amazing, and he is a humble king. And then there was the night cultural fiesta where they only joined a group of traditional dancers for a few minutes, clapping to the beat of the talking drum. Videos of that movement went viral across Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with caption like, our king is accessible and joyful, and this is true royalty. The list of Obas who attended was indeed the cream de la cream. Apart from the Ooni and the Alaafin, there was the Awolaje of Ijebu and Olubadan of Ibadan, the Alaka of Egbaland, and the Orogon of Ile, the Deji of Akure, and several others from Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, and Kwara. It was like a parliament of kings, each representing centuries of history and thousands of subjects. What people especially loved was how the Oni went out of his way to give every king a sense of importance. Trying the banquet, he personally walked, from table to table, acknowledging each monarch, cracking small jokes, and even helping an aged Oba adjust his agbada so it wouldn't drag on the floor. Beyond the pomp, the outcome of the Lagos gathering was also solid. They agreed to set up a joint Yoruba Economic Advancement Committee with the mandate to drive comparative investment across Yoruba state, things like agriculture, tech incubation hub, and tourism partnership. They are resolved. They also resolved to have a unified cultural calendar so that major festivals wouldn't clash, allowing visitors and investors to plan better and deepen cultural tourism. And that was a really big one. For Yorubas in diaspora, this unity is like a warm embrace. Messages flooded social media from Canada, the UK, the US, and Brazil, where descendants of Yoruba slaves still hold tight to the Orisha tradition. Many said they felt renewed pride seeing their king stand together, talking about progress and youth empowerment. Finally, as the Oni and the Alaafin walked out of the hall side by side, their hands slightly brushing each other agbada, the crowd outside erupted in the chant of Kabiesiyo, Kabiesiyo, and people surged forward to try to touch them or simply be near them and take pictures. Vendors selling Yoruba beads, asoke, and even amala with a wedu did bricks business outside. It was more than just a meeting. It felt like a mini festival of identity and pride. People left with smiles, hands lifted, telling stories to their children about how they saw the Oni laugh, how the Alaafin prayed, and how all the Obas promised to work as one entity. It was amazing. It was so amazing. And that is why the Ooni of Ife is being praised so much after this Lagos summit. It's not just about this position. It's about how he uses it, his humility, his active effort to bridge ancient rivalries, his obvious love for the culture and people and the practical steps he is taking to secure a better future for Yoruba sons and daughters everywhere. And that is why you see the Ooni of Ife is so well loved and respected. Yes, so our very own Ooni of Ife led a historic gathering of Yoruba monarchs in Lagos. A new era has just emerged right now. It's important to bear in mind that this is not a breaking news. This happened about 4 days ago, but because I didn't do it here, and I can see how important this is for my people, I just wanted you to know what is going on, okay? So the recent gathering in Lagos led by the Ooni of Ife was nothing short of historic. It was one of those moments that reminded everyone, Yorubas at home and in the diaspora, why their traditional institutions still command so much respect, affection, and pride. The meeting brought together cream de la cream of Yoruba royalty, of powerful Obas, chiefs, and influential custodian of culture and tradition. It wasn't just a random assembly. The backdrop to this meeting was a growing concern among Yoruba elders about unity, cultural preservation, and the social, political strength of the Yoruba nation in modern Nigeria. With various issues cropping up, economic challenges, youth restiveness, even cultural dilution, there was a burning need for the royal fathers to come together, speak with one voice, and map out a strategy that would safeguard Yoruba heritage and also promote peace and economic collaboration among their people. Now, Lagos was, chosen deliberately. It is the heartbeat of Yoruba comments, a melting pot of every Nigerian tribe, but still, solidly standing as a Yoruba land at its core. By meeting there, they sent a powerful signal to millions. Yoruba land is united and the traditional stool is awake and intentional about its people future. At the center of this, convocation was the Ooni of Ife, who is traditionally regarded as the spiritual father of the Yoruba race. His role wasn't just ceremonial, he was the rallying force throughout the 3 days of closed-door section, cultural exhibition, and interactive meetings with, youth group, business leaders, and women association. The Ooni was seen actively engaging, listening, meditating, where minor disagreement arose, and even joking with, fellow monarch to lighten tense moment. And that is why Kabiyesi is so different. This man is such a great monarch. Me personally, you all know how much I respect Kabiyesi. Ooni of Ife is such a great king. I will never cease but tell you how brilliant I do know that he is, and I so respect his brilliance. Now, the event climax on the final day, after exhaustive discussion ranging from youth empowerment, communal land use to reintroducing Yoruba language studies aggressively in schools, the Ooni of Ife stood up to thank everyone. The hall went quiet immediately when he speaks, or when he spoke. There was a certain calm that follows, as if the ancestors themselves have paused to listen. In that moment, after summarizing the collective resolution and pledging that this wouldn't just end as May what, but be followed by actions across all Yoruba kingdom, he did something that touched many heart deeply. He turned to the Alaafin of Oyo, another highly revered monarch. The relationship between the Ooni of Ife and the Alaafin hasn't, always been rosy historically. Centuries back, Ife and Oyo were at different times rivals in power, but today things are different. These two royal fathers have made deliberate effort over the years to show unity. So the only calling on the Alaafin to give the closing prayers wasn't a small matter. It was a symbolic gesture saying, okay,